Everyone, I'm Anna Kompaniets. I'm an artist who creates wearable art mainly out of recycled materials. I'm looking forward to taking part in Camberwell Open Studios 2020 with the fabulous artists Joanna McCormick and Liz Cook. We are looking forward to having you around our studios virtually and hopefully in person if we can, in a COVID secure environment, and sharing our art and our ideas and inspiration, and hopefully some skills as well. So let me show you around my studio. Are you ready? So here's where I paint. I don't do so many paintings in the moment, but this is a painting I've started in the first lockdown. It's obviously about climate change and hope for a better future. It's still in progress, but it's getting there. Here's my photo area. I'm just about to photograph some of these Christmas decorations which I've made out of corks. I'll be doing a workshop on how to make these for you as well, so stay tuned for that. Here are some of my corks. I like to separate them into who gave them to me. This big box is actually full of corks from Chapel Down Vineyard in Kent, who's been collecting them to me for several months now, actually. So lots and lots of corks here. Some of my special corks, like the polymer corks, are actually in a little stand of their own. This is my little stand for my Swarovski crystals. I like to keep them in jars. I like to use tiny gem jars and all these beautiful recycled jars and spice jars. So if you have any tiny jars, please keep them for me. I mainly use vintage crystals as well, actually. So whatever you see on my art is usually recycled or reclaimed. Up in here I have 2 vacuum bags of plastic bags. I use plastic bags in most of my work. They are just so evil and terrible for the environment. I like to save them in my art. Here's a coat I'm working on. You can see I've started to sequin it, but it's going to take me forever. This is the main sort of event of this coat. It's a beautiful embroidered sort of jellyfish star thing, it's sort of space-ish but also kind of under the water. Really, really sparkly. It took me ages. It's all beaded by hand. So what I do with old coats, I actually embroider them to cover up moth bites and stains and make them really, really fabulous again. Here's another coat I just started working on. This one is going to have these Liberty print patches over it. This one I stitched with little beads. I think it's going to have these everywhere, all over it. It's going to be really magical. Here's some more of my beads. You can see I keep them in glass jars from jams, all sorts of jars, and so many beads, so many. This is just a fraction of all my beads. Even my crochet hooks are colorful. I like to use these coffee jars. Here's some of my findings. There's my little labels. I just had them made. These are oyster and mussel shells, which I've soaked in bleach, and now they are pretty much almost ready to be made into headpieces. I'll show you one of the jewels I made with oyster shells before. So here's a couple of jewels. These are really, really intricately beaded and crystallized into necklaces. So I think these mussels are going to become tiaras and the oyster shells necklaces, and maybe a really big necklace for Christmas out of the oyster shells. Here's some of the beautiful masks I've been making. They're all delicious and gorgeous. Let me show you the fabrics and how I store them. So this is just a fraction of my fabrics. There's like tubs and tubs of these, and I store them this way so I can see which fabrics I wear. Obviously I steam them before making them into things, especially masks, because you have to be really hygienic. The smaller remnants of my fabrics get made into other things. Like this is a scarf that's been embroidered. That's just going to go home to somebody. I'm just about to package this tiara. It's been sold, so it's going to go to a new home. This is my little packaging station. I use very cute flamingo envelope. Behind this curtain is tons of stuff. It's all organized into types. You can see here it says buttons, my embroidery hoops, and literally you will find anything because nothing goes to waste in my studio. Absolutely nothing. So whatever you can think of, bottle tops, little bits that can be made into something. You could see like this flower I made out of cottage cheese, the plastic tubs things. That took me forever, so I had to cut out each bit individually and make a hole in it. So there you go, everything you will find in here. And in front I have the curtain, so I can film my tutorials here as well. So I hope you enjoyed that. And funnily enough, I'm wearing a Toy Soldiers headpiece myself, as I was just wrapping one to go to a new home. How funny is that? I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something from it. And I think the key to having a good studio is to have it really organized and things in jars and boxes. For me, that works. Hope to see you all virtually or in person. Have a great day, everyone. Sending you lots of love from East London.